Hi Cole, you're on fast. I'm still setting up my screen here, hang on. Hey Josh, how you doing? I think I should do these afternoon ones more often. You guys seem to be readily available. Any time of the day, 24/7. Tim. You're at work? Doing a bit of snide watching / listening, are you, Josh? Suffolk, Piper UK. Thank you for joining. Well, I just thought I'd share with you Ninja Live, an off-the-cuff opening. I got some of this 1820 Flake in. Nice gold bag. I've got quite a few people in the States who have asked me to get some, so I'm going to open that up and I'll be divvying some of that up and keeping some myself too. I thought it would be nice to see what it looks like in the containers. Sometimes the presentation is slightly different because, hey Monclaude, because you get the protection of the plastic tray, so you might be lucky and get a bit of structure to the flakes as opposed to the jar where it ends up being just a crumble, really. I mean, there are some flake forms in the jar, but it doesn't actually, by the time you take it out, it's really crumbly. Cheers, folks. Been smoking this pipe today. This is the Guard Hill, and I've been smoking this Gareth Hogarth bourbon flake, which I got at the pipe show in Nottingham. Well, he actually sent me, Chris Parry sent me a little bit more afterwards. I've cut it up into squares almost, slightly oblong. This has probably got the best aroma of any tobacco I've ever smelled. The aroma is addictive. Just unbelievable. The flavour unfortunately doesn't match it. It's good for an aromatic, it's really good. There's no hint of alcohol, sort of metallic-y kind of flavourings in there. But it possibly needs more time. Hey Frank. It's a lovely looking flake. There's lots of sugary crystals on there, and I would have hoped to have, there's lots of crystals on it already. I would have hoped to have gotten a little bit more of a Virginia kind of flavour coming through, that barnyard. So this is what you're getting is a mixture of barnyard, baked bread, brown sugar, toffee, caramel, nougat, the hazelnut paste kind of thing. It's fantastic. The aroma is unbelievable. Sometimes just happy to open it and smell it and not even smoke it. It's got an awesome aroma, and I'm hoping that the flavors will develop into something similar in due course. They do look good enough to eat, and they smell good enough to eat. They really do. I've been doing a little bit of research around cigar cutters because my XI Zycar has gone walkies. I've got no idea where it's gone. It's probably under all the debris on my desk somewhere, but so far I haven't been able to locate it. So I may well look into getting a new cigar cutter. We shall see. Alright, so we've already got 17 people watching, so perhaps we'll make a start, because I can't stay on for too long. It was really just an impromptu hello. So these bags, they certainly look like the Esoterica. They are the same, really, I think. It's obviously made by the same people. So hello Koto, thank you for joining. Hello Geek Piper. Well, I do have the Calibri V cutter, and I do also have the XO from Zycar, which is really the flagship cutter, this fella here. But I prefer actually the XI, you know, the teardrop shape, the one with the two wings pop out. But this one is certainly the most technologically advanced one because of the gearing here, which ensures that the two blades close simultaneously. I may well just get back into this one. I just didn't enjoy using it for a few reasons. Mainly, I think the blade has dulled a bit, and I know that Zycar give a lifetime guarantee, so I may well send it back and maybe they'll sharpen up the blades. But mainly because, hey Illinois Piper, but mainly because the it's a very deep cutter. So if you can imagine, I haven't got a cigar right in front of me, but let's see. If I use my tamper, my cigar tamper, quite appropriately, when you put it in there, it's quite deep, and you have to kind of, it's harder. I just find it harder to gauge exactly where you're cutting because of the depth of it. It's like over half an inch the inside of this. Pipe Buffer UK, how you doing? But I may well just decide not to spend more money and just use this and see how we go, and maybe I'll fall for this. We'll see. Anyway, let's carry on opening this bag. What? People say Illinois? Seriously? Come on. You're mixing with the wrong people. I suppose if you go to French people, they say Illinois. But Illinois is how I understood it always to be. Oh, there's two trays. Alright, so you can see there is something of, take you out for a second, so you can see the lines there and there, but you try and lift these flakes and it just falls apart. It's just not possible to actually lift up a whole flake. And the same generally is the same with Penzance. So I'm going to try and leave these in the trays and just put them into a tapador or something like that so they keep their moisture. Quite a lot of this is already earmarked for people in the States, so we'll be shipping that off to them in the near future. But there you go. I think it's that way around. But this is really, it's good tobacco. Does it sit on top? It looks like it sits on top of the other one. Okay. Whoops. I'll just have to gather all of these crumbs and smoke them. In terms of its comparison to Penzance, very close in my book. I've mentioned that several times. Cool. This is a Balkan blend, I guess you'd say. It's I think it's Virginia, Latakia, and Orientals, if I'm not mistaken. There we go. We've got a nice bowl full there. Waste not, want not, as my dad would say. Good old boys. All well, thank you very much. So, we'll have to load up a pipe. Yeah, absolutely, Tim. I can understand that, and I'm tempted to do that, but I was tempted to do that. Can't be tempted anymore, seeing as I've opened the bag. But I bought it with the distinct intention of sending to people. I have a separate 200-gram jar which I smoke out of, and I imagine probably what I will do is I'll probably fill up another jar, and then the people who I've earmarked it for, I will divvy up the rest. The moisture it is moist. It will definitely need some drying. It's not Cabby's mixture moist, but it's pretty good. I think this literally just needs maybe 3 to 5 minutes, not more, and you could actually smoke it straight off. I think there is moisture there, but it's actually at a pretty good rate. You know, you do want I find a little bit of moisture in most tobaccos. You don't want it tinder dry. It'll smoke too fast and too hot. You don't want it sopping wet either, so it's about getting the right balance. I reckon 3 to 5 minutes, maybe a few more minutes, to whatever your preference is, and you're good to go, really. So that's about it, folks. That's all I really wanted to get in to say. Hope you're all well. Happy to talk for another few minutes if anybody wants to talk about something else in particular. I'm good for about another 10 minutes. The question is, should I light up now? My kids are here for supper. My married kids are here as well. My son-in-law's actually just bought a new car. Well, I say new, it's about 15 years old. I think it's in 2004 car. Right, I'll smoke about half a bowl with you guys. Filthy habit. Filthy habit. Still got a few of these Big Ben filters. Unfortunately, I didn't listen to the cricket. I do want to get into the tennis. I haven't really had a chance to get into it yet. Yeah, definitely is nice to have family around. I'll be able to muck about with my grandson, hopefully. He's a few months old now, and he's much more responsive than he was. Get decent smiles and giggles out of him, and that's good fun. That's the thing with grandchildren. You can play with them and then hand them back, so you don't have to have the sleepless nights anymore. Having said that, we have had him round to sleep with us overnight, so the young couple can get a good night's sleep as well on a few occasions, which is a nice thing to do. It helps having a 15-year-old daughter who dotes on her nephew, and so she usually sleeps with him when he stays over and looks after him from night till morning. I don't hear anything about it. I bought a series of these. It came as, I think, 3 or 5 with different cartoon images. I thought they were quite cool. German frog. Alright. Well, I think that's me for now, people. Thanks for joining this impromptu little London calling. Have a great rest of the day. Maybe I'll catch you later on. I've got a little job this evening again. It's been a busy week, thankfully. I'm very grateful for the work. It's 4 nights in a row now. And so hopefully tomorrow night I'll have a bit of downtime. Well, still got loads of processing now to do, building up. So that's the thing, when you're busy with actual photography, you then have to actually process the work. That takes time and it's boring. Having a pipe does help. Anyway, thanks everybody for joining. Catch you on the next one.